California Assembly candidate Andrew Hayes says California and the government in general works overtime to undermine families. Here's more. As California goes, so goes the nation. 50% of Americans believe California is not really American. Half of the U.S. adults think the state is in decline, where 2/3 of Republicans believe the state has a negative impact on the rest of the nation. I brought in Republican Andrew Hayes, vying for California State Assembly's 75th district, looking to fight for conservatives' values. Mr. Hayes, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So you're a lifelong resident of East County, San Diego, a product of the school systems in California, and now you're pro-parent president of the Lakeside School Board, and you authored the Parents' Bill of Rights.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh my gosh, well, California claims to be this leader in education, but what they really are is a leader at removing parents' rights to have a say in their children's education. So last year, Sacramento legislators passed a bill that said children could get mental health services at 12 years old, give consent, and not tell parents.
Oh.
It's absolute lunacy. And kids at 12 years old should not be able to tell that they need to go get mental health services without telling their parent. Mm-hmm. And so I decided, look, we've got to push back on frankly, these woke policies that say that kids have more rights, minors have more rights than their parents do. Parents deserve to have access to the curriculum. Parents deserve to have access to the library books their kids are checking out, the ability to object to those things, the ability to say we don't want our kids to do this, and the ability to say, look, my kid is not going to be referred to mental health services without you telling me. I mean, heck, if we have to have parents sign, all these massive waivers just to give kids a Tylenol, but yet we won't make them do that to give them to mental health services? It's ridiculous. The other thing is that now they want us to keep things secret from parents about gender. No, I'm not doing that. In fact, my board suspended that policy, and that's what this Parents' Bill of Rights does, is it says we want to empower parents to have access to their kids' education, and this pushes back on these state of California policies. So I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, so mother knows best, but obviously California doesn't appear to agree with that sentiment. And like you mentioned, the assembly bills that you're talking about, 665 and 957, where the one allows the children at 12 and older to receive mental health treatment on counseling and outpatient basis without their parents' consent. But the other one you mentioned was it requires a judge to actually consider a parent's affirmation of a child's gender identity before granting custody.
Correct.
And I was reading this, and like I said, mother knows best. That's what I've learned growing up. I'm not from here, but I imagine that that's the same everywhere. So aside from that, you're promising parents' choice in education. So can you elaborate a little bit more on that?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, firstly, to the point about the bill about granting custody if they affirm a gender, this stuff is so not focused on what we need to be focused on. When California students can barely read, 50% of kids cannot read, and we're talking about gender, that's the number one issue that we're talking about. This is not okay. And so for me, when I'm looking at all of the things as a school board member and as a leader in this state, I want to make sure we restore parents' ability to have influence over their kids' lives. Look, the government should not raise your children. We should not raise your children as a school board, right? Our job is to make sure that they can get great jobs when they leave. Mm-hmm. That's it. I don't want to have the conversation about, oh, what gender are you today? That's ridiculous. We shouldn't even be focused on those things. So for me, my Parents' Bill of Rights restores the balance to where it should be, right back with the family. And because California works overtime to undermine the family, and government works overtime to undermine the family, and I just don't want to see it anymore.
We appreciate your time, Andrew Hayes. You are the conservative for California State Assembly, and we thank you so much for joining us.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
For all our viewers asking where One America News is heading in the future, we would like to introduce you to OAN Live. OAN Live is the best way to stay up to date on all of the hard-hitting, straight-shooting, national and international headlines. And the best part is, OAN Live is only $4.99 per month. All the credible, honest, unbiased reporting One America News offers at a fraction of the cost of cable. Just go to OANN.com to easily sign up for OAN Live and stay informed.